It's a big game, for everybody. Growing up as a kid, it's usually somebody in the house likes USC, somebody likes Clemson, and I actually started the opposite coming in high school, and then changed over after talking to my coaches and stuff. But I mean, it's a big game. It's another game for us, to accomplish a lot of things as far as our 10th win, and just to get back on track after having a difficult 3 weeks, and I think the guys will be ready to play. It means a lot to some guys, with the whole rivalry thing, and I just think that this game will be another starting point, just like it was when we first started off this season, to get back on track.
Do you find it interesting that both teams are 9-2, and yet maybe they feel like they've got to hop in their step more right now than you guys do?
Actually, this is one of the first times both teams have been 9-2. And, they're a good team, and we're also good too. And I just think, it'll be a big game, a competitive game. But as far as who has the higher step, all that really doesn't matter. It's just who executes the most and who comes prepared and who pays attention to details and execution.
You're going to play a very attacking defense for the second straight week. NC State had forced a lot of turnovers coming in. South Carolina's forced 29. How much do you think you guys will be paying attention to detail, maybe more than normal in practice this week because of how USC comes after the football?
But thanks to the Thanksgiving break, we got a lot of time off from class, so guys will be getting in a lot of film, and like we harped on the past couple of days, we just got to take care of the ball is the biggest thing. And, that's shown the past 3 games that we turned it over 11 times. A key to disaster is when you turn the ball over. And, I think if we can just take control of the ball and, just execute like we were doing the first 8 games, this team right here is hard to beat. And, we've accomplished a lot since, last year, when we get it rolling, it's hard to stop this team. And I just think we just pay attention to the little details like holding on to the ball and taking care of the ball. We'll do fine in this game.
It sounds like you feel like the team's confidence is still pretty high despite not playing that well the past few weeks.
Yes, well, everybody has their days when, you lose or you're disappointed. And, you just got to bounce back from it. You don't want to ever feed off of negativity and, just keep going downhill. You always want to get back up and fight back. Like, if you get knocked down, you want to get back up. And, in life, everybody learns a valuable lesson that, you can't just keep letting things like this, hold you down. You have to get back up and, like I said, fight back and learn from it. And the one thing this team has is we're confident every game, no matter if we lose bad or when. We don't never try to over-humble ourselves or anything. We just try to stay humble. The guys and I, we just look at it as another opportunity to add to our season, as far as our 10th win, and, get better. And, this team is very confident in what we do, and we take pride in what we do every day. So, the guys never lost any confidence. We just knew that we missed things on execution and didn't take care of the ball.
Are you concerned about Taj's confidence?
No, not at all. Taj is a competitor, and before every game, during every practice, I talk to him. I say, composure is the biggest thing. Just keep your composure. Whether you do good or turn the ball over. And, he's done fine with that. He's makes mistakes here and there. But, the guys, as you can see, the competitor, for a first-year starter, he's done really well. It's times where he gets, he might want to force something. But, defense has his back, and we got his back, too. We never get down on him. He never looked down on us. So, his confidence is still pretty high.
Can you talk about the immaturity factor possibly that Dabo alluded to in the press conference that this team doesn't necessarily think football when they're not on the practice field or during game day? Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Not really much I can say on that, but all I can say is, the guys just, they might laugh around and giggle at times, but, necessarily as far as losing their whole composure about the game or anything, I wouldn't say that. I think when he talks to immaturity, he's talking about, guys just not growing up and forgetting about the little things like taking care of the ball and, and getting complacent during the game, but that's really it.
Brendan, I think it's been something like 40 years since Carolina's won 3 straight in this series. Have you guys talked at all about sort of not letting that happen here?
Me and some of the guys have talked about it, and, since I've been here, we won once, and, we, usually the series goes every 5 years, we won 4 out of 5, and I talked to Jerome Brown and a couple other guys the other day, and I told them, I don't want to have that sour taste in my mouth again. I had the past 2 years. It's time for us to do something about it and stop waiting on other people and other teams to do it. And I think this would be a good time for us to step up and do it.
It seems like you've really grown into the tight end position. You know, obviously started out as a receiver. What's been the hardest part of that transition?
Like I said before, just learning the technique of my opponents and, watching film, and because I'm not ordinary the 250, 260 guy that you have like Dwayne and Chad, so I know strength will always be a factor and technique will always be my biggest key on whether, I win that down or, win against my opponent. And I just, work on just technique until, when summer comes, I'm just going to have to put on a little more weight and then consistently do with my technique.
Has having a guy like Dwayne at your position helped you learn it?
Yes, it's helped a lot, I'm playing alongside a great player, and he's one of the best in the country, and, just sitting there watching him blocking in practice, and when I get my opportunity and going, and, just watching film on him last year and this year, and just watching how he, does things, and, the guy's a competitor. He's come a long way since freshman year, and me and him are roommates too, and we talk about it all the time, what we got to do, to execute. And I learned a lot from him and Coach Trevor.
Are you guys pretty anxious to get back out there Saturday and sort of get the bad taste from the NC State game out of your mouth?
Yes, sir. As Coach Morris mentioned yesterday, he wished we could play last night, and we all giggled and laughed at it. But we're ready to get these tapes out of our mouth. And it's just we didn't play well Saturday, and we know that, and we took our loss to heart. And these guys are just gonna come together. And I really feel like this would be a statement game where we can build upon going into the next week. And but right now we're just going to get really focused in on this South Carolina game.
Do you guys feel you need to prove something at least on the road, because your last two road games you guys obviously have not fared particularly well at Georgia Tech and NC State?
Not just on the road, it's just to prove to everybody that Clemson is not one of those teams that can go 8-0 and then lose 5 in a row or something like that. But just that this team has grown up since the past years, and we know how to handle failure and stuff like that. And like I said, these guys and I, when we lose a game or win a game, we never try to overconfident ourselves or get down ourselves and let it grow. We just say, hey, we got to focus on the next game, the next task at hand, and try to do well or do better at that game.
Do you feel this is a turning point for this young team going through this rough stretch? This past month obviously hasn't been picture perfect in the results. Do you think this is the turning point for the team right here this weekend?
Yes, I think it will be. There's a lot of hype with rivalry week, and how teams do against each other, and it could go either way. I think this team is just going to grow and come together. And, we've not had the November that we wanted to have. We had a loss, and then we had a close game, and then we lost again. And, I just feel like, this team will come together, and we will make a statement and show Clemson's still Clemson, and we're going to do what we do, and expectations here are to win.
Our victory is that much sweeter against Carolina and that much more sour when you lose?
Well, we had our last home game 2 weeks ago, and we usually have one of our last home games are either last week or it would be this week, and it'd feel great, as Coach Sweeney mentioned, to win in Columbia this week on our last regular season game and then go into the championship week.
Anything else for Brandon?
Thanks, man.